How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of Chilton Mill up in this piece, in the form of their Munich Helles Lager. Full disclosure, I just had this beer probably about an hour and a half ago. It's a weekend, man. It was a man. You're gonna get a milk pour in this one. Look it, I'm the best pourer in the history of pourers. It's been a weekend. This Saturday. It is Saturday the 10th, and man, I've done a lot over the past day and a half. A lot of work, and I just like, screw it. It was like 2:30. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a beer. I haven't been to this place. Actually, I was there a month and a half ago, but I just felt like going here, so got in my car, started driving, and I dialed up the old Keithy Poo, little 93 Lumber. And he's like, I'll meet you there, dude. And then we chugged beers. We had a couple beers. I had 3 beers, and then I came home. Now I'm here. It's called A Wonderful Story. Hopefully you guys are paying attention. This is one of the beers I had there. But I wanted to review it. So here we go. I mean, that gigantic, huge pour, that's more me and a crowler as opposed to the actual beer itself. You know, 4 fingers of rocky, soapy craziness that's dissipating on top of itself. Wouldn't pay too much attention to the head on that. Although, we could probably do one of those, like slow pour things where I can get this head kind of creeping out of here. Let's do it for fun. For fun. For science. Oh, yeah. Let's see how high we can get this before it starts to come out the other side. Yeah, that's what happens when you get crowlers. Can we get... Oh, we're getting... That's pretty high, man. So, if I actually had patience, I'm going to stop this because there's no way I'm going to actually be able to drink this beer. So, at least we got a decent amount of fluid in the actual glass. Awesome. Great reviews. Very scientific, very professional. But honestly, with that kind of slow pour kind of head thing coming out, it does look very, very pretty. Right now, you're looking at 3 fingers, infinite creaminess with this nice soft, like really, really clear, but with a touch of kind of like, we don't centrifuge stuff, kind of haze to it. Most of the haze is actually from the glass itself. So I'm actually going to eschew a nose right now. I'm just going to dive right in. We'll get into the nose in a little bit. So let's dive in. Cheers. That's nice. Nice. Bitter. Decent bittering on this. To get this really nice, really light, like crispy level kind of lager vibes on this. Probably a little bit lighter than what I typically expect from a Helles. I mean, we're talking microns here, but a little bit lighter, but I don't hate that. It's nice malt driven, something a bit more robust than a basic kind of Pilsner malt. So it does have that little bit of heft to it. Something a little bit bigger, a little bit stronger than what you typically expect from a base kind of Pilsner. The bittering on here is probably a little bit more kind of like the American twist in here. It's very traditional, the bittering here. Very tea-like, tannic, little herbally hops here, Zazie level stuff. But it comes off just a little more aggressive pop than you get from a more traditional kind of Helles. I would say just, again, a little bit bigger, but I dig that. I actually think it's quite nice. It's almost like it feels like almost a dry hopped version. Like they're probably all dry hopped to a certain extent, but I mean a more aggressive kind of dry hopping. As far as the nose goes on this, though, from what I remember at the brewery, it comes off uber more traditional, nice kind of slowly toasted kind of crackery maltiness to it. Getting close to biscuity, but nothing too crazy, nothing overly sweet. That soft little bitterness that actually jumps out once you actually taste the beer. Yeah, it's really well made. I mean, I've talked about this previously in the Chilton Mill reviews that I've done, is that they're actually one of my newer favorite breweries. New Jersey, more specifically so because they got their like OG status on lock. You know, you're talking about the Schwarz beer I did. You're talking about this lager. You're talking about a lot of these kind of lighter, kind of traditional style, cleaner, crisper kind of beers are really, really nice. I dig in their hazies. I actually it was a toss up between this one and one of the other beers, and it was like their 5% hazy pale ale, and that was quite nice. But I just kind of wanted this beer. I wanted a drinking beer tonight, so I picked this one. But their hazy's been a little bit hit or miss. Their anniversary beer wasn't to my liking, but I've had ones that have really dug. Not that they can't do those really well. It's that stuff that is kind of old, mild, darker, pilsnery, lagery stuff that really kind of turns me on. And that's a good thing, because I like drinking beers. they have a decent amount of hazies on. So if you're a hazy person, I would never not go there, because if you watch my reviews, then you assume all they make is Pilsner and lager and like old school beer. But this is really nice. It reminds me of quite a bit of like New School Pilsner, like a Pivo Pils, Tipo Pils, kind of not necessarily Italian Pilsner, but something a bit more aggressive, a little bit more kind of hopping going on in a very fun way. Super tasty beer. I don't know what else to say. Just when I want to drink, it's hot out. It's 90 degrees out. It's 5 o'clock on a Saturday. I win. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better Helles I've had as of late. Yes, Mount Rushmore status close and probably worthy of being on there, but I've had so many good ones as of late. Might skew a little bit more traditional. It's worthy of being up there. Let's put it that way. Value and availability. Keith bought me this, so I don't know. I don't know what their crowlers are. I think they're kind of like 13 to 15, which is kind of standard fare, and leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you just like really well done, bright, light kind of lager. You want a bit of a malt character there. You're not afraid of a little bit of a decent amount of hopping. Not super aggressive 2x4 to the face stuff, but stuff that has a little bit of chutzpah to it. Then you'll definitely dig this beer. So there you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Chilton Mill right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.